Hello, Music Technology. We're going to continue what we started last week with chords and inversions, and I'm going to try and tie a bunch of things together in this video as we move forward to writing songs with chords, and here we go. So, I'm going to start with a treble clef and a bass clef, which is a thing that we have not dealt with, and hopefully this will tie everything together. This is called the grand staff. And so the bass clef is on the bottom and the treble clef is on the top, and then traditionally there'd be like a bracket here connecting them, saying that all that's going to happen at one time, low notes, high notes. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to write out the C major scale and all the scale degrees, but just so you can see how the whole thing works. So I'm going to start with the C major scale and the bass clef. Lines and spaces. In bass clef are G, B, D, F, A on the lines, A, C, E, G in the spaces, so C is right there. C major scale has no sharps and no flats. We know this, so I could do whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, but I don't have to. So C, up a whole step from there, is going to be D on the line, then E in the space, then F on the line, then G in the space, then A on the line, and now we're into stuff that we've seen before where we're out of staff, right? But we still have to keep going line, space, line, space. The next note needs to be a space note, and it is B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So B is going to sit in the imaginary space on top of the line. The next note is C, and it is a special C, and I'm going to draw it up here. Here's the treble clef, here's the bass clef. The note C sits exactly in between the two, and it is the only note that does not touch the bass clef and it does not touch the treble clef, because if I were to start my scale here on this C, the next note of the scale is D, which would go here just below the treble clef. So C, D, and then E, because in treble clef, elephants got big dirty feet, and F, A, C, E. So that's C, middle C, D, which touches the treble clef, B below it touches the bass clef, C floats, that's middle C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again. So what we have here is 2 octaves of the C major scale, and I'll play it on the piano. It starts on low C down here, because we're in the bass clef. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B. There's middle C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We end there. So this goes on and on and on in both directions like a line in geometry class, right? This is just 2 octaves, but it can go infinite octaves in both directions until you can't hear it anymore. And so here's my point. In this scale, this is now a key. And if I label my scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, C is 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and it would keep going forever and ever and ever. So, when we have chords and inversions, or scales or anything, if we're going to write a song in C major, or do the chords in C major, every single C in the universe is now 1. Every single D in the universe is now 2. So if I want to do the 1 chord, I'm going to do, panned out here. It would be 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. And that would sound like this. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. But it's also here, and here, and here. And so I can now take the notes of this chord and move them in any configuration I want, and every C is 1, every E is 3, every G is 5, and it doesn't matter the configuration. So, with inversions, I'm going to put E on the bottom, 3. I'm going to put C in the middle, that's 1, and then I'm going to put 5 on top. That is the 1 chord in an inversion. And if we want to get real technical, this is in what is called 6 inversion, because it is 6 notes between E and C. E, F, G, A, B, C. That's 6 notes, so that's called a sixth. So that chord right there, E on the bottom, C, G. That is the 1 chord. It's called the 1-6 chord, right? First inversion of the chord. So any 1, 3, or 5 in any configuration, any inversion, is going to still be the 1 chord. So I'm going to write out a couple of chords over here, and you're going to give them their Roman numerals up there. So let's see if I do, I'll do 1 and so I want to know what chord that is. Then I'm going to go and then I want to know what this one is. So, in Roman numerals, we can see that real clearly on the video. I want to know what chord this is, what chord that is, and what chord that is, right? So, for example, that would be the 1 chord. So you need to figure out what scale degrees each note is, and then what chord contains those scale degrees. You did a great job with this last time. You should have no trouble with that. There's the C major scale. So hopefully the grand staff and the chord inversions thing makes a little more sense. Later on this week, we're going to get into using scale degrees to write melodies. And it's really important to remember that the scale goes on forever in both directions, and it doesn't matter which C or which scale degree 1 it is. Every C in the universe is 1 if we're in this key. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.